If you've ever applied for a credit card, a business loan, or a business line of credit and got denied, then look, this video is exactly for you. In this video, I'm going to break down every single mistake that is getting you denied, and I'm going to explain why each one is destroying your chances before you even hit submit on that application. So if you're serious about getting access to capital, whether that's for real estate, your investments, or your business, stay with me through this entire video because every point I'm about to share matters. Mistake number one, applying without a strategy. This is the number one reason why people are getting denied these days. So here's what most people do. Let me know if this resonates with you. You're gonna look online, you find all the top banks, all the top credit unions, and you start applying. You don't have any type of strategy, but you just hit them all. Bank after credit union, after application, no strategy, no order, no sequence. And guess what? You just wait, cross your fingers, and hope that you're gonna get approved. But look, here's the reason why that is so dangerous. Every time that you hit one of those applications, they're going to give you what is called a hard inquiry. And every hard inquiry that you get is gonna drop your score anywhere between 2 to 5 points. Now, doing 1 or 2 applications, look, that's not gonna hurt you that bad, right? But now we're talking about 10 banks, 10 different applications. Yeah, that's gonna hit your score pretty bad. And now because you have all those inquiries and on top of that your score dropped, now you're looking like a big risk anytime that you go to another application at another bank. Because now at this point, they're gonna see those hard inquiries and they're gonna see you as a desperate human being. They're going to think that you're money hungry. You are going to be seen as a big risk. And now because you're seen as a big risk, they don't want to approve you for a lot, if anything at all. Because in the mind of the bank, they're thinking, okay, well, this applicant already went to Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and didn't get approved for enough. Why is he coming to us? Is it because he got denied at all those places? There's a reason why he got denied. And because all those banks and lenders denied him over there, I probably should not approve them over here for good reason. And let's just say that they do approve you. You're probably going to get approved for small limits. We're talking about $500, $1,000, $2,000. Look, you can't get jiggy with that. And now with every new inquiry, you get stuck in this cycle where every new inquiry makes it harder to get approved with the next application. And see, this is why strategy is so important. You have to apply to the right banks at the right time in the right order. Mistake number 2, trying to build business credit. So this is for most of us who grew up in the space in 2020, 2021, 2022, where they told us to buy a whole bunch of random stuff from Uline, Quill, and Granger and pay back what we bought within 30 days just to be able to build up business credit. But look, to be quite honest, all this information about net 30s to build business credit to get a whole bunch of funding is outdated, and honestly, it was misleading. But to be quite honest with you, this information that we got is outdated, and honestly, it was misleading. Trust me, I know. I spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars buying a whole bunch of random shit. I'm talking about toilet paper, paper rolls, ink cartridges, things I've never touched to this day. Bro, I still got rolls of toilet paper in my garage to this day just to build business credit. And yes, through all that, I was able to build out a phenomenal business credit profile. But when I went to the bank, guess what they asked for? They still asked for my social. They still wanted to run a hard inquiry on my personal credit. And I remember going to Bank of America and asking the banker, what business credit bureaus are you gonna pull from? And the banker was like, you're talking about Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion? No, I'm talking about the business credit bureaus. We're talking about Dun & Bradstreet. The banker was like, I don't know about them, but I know about TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. So I said, okay, cool, whatever. Went through the application, they still gave me a hard inquiry. And yes, that information online is misleading because a lot of people try to build business credit to overpass not having to use their personal credit to get approved for business credit. So even if you have the best business credit profile, if your personal credit is trash, they're still going to deny you. A lot of these strategies found in those types of videos, they were watched by startup business owners. Now, because a lot of these startup businesses are not making millions of dollars in their first couple years, they are severely disappointed when they do go to the bank and find out that they're still getting denied, even with the perfect business credit profile. And look, you don't have to believe me. Go and try building out a business credit profile with a trash personal credit. Come back and let me know what you get approved for. I would rather you save your time, save your money, Focus on building out your personal credit, deleting charge-offs, collections, bankruptcies, cleaning all of that up, building out a strong business profile, then going out and buying a whole bunch of random stuff just to build out a business credit profile, because it's going to be a lot easier and it's going to be a lot faster. Oh, and this was a good one. Mistake number 3, avoiding fixing your personal credit. There's a lot of people just like you who are avoiding trying to fix their personal credit and avoid using their personal credit in 2026. Look, in 2026, trying to get approved for funding with a trash personal credit, I'm sorry, it's a no-go. Funding is still personal credit driven. Yes, of course, there are other factors that play into how much you can get approved for, like how old your business is, how well your business is structured, how much money your business is making. But 70 to 80% of the reason why you get approved or denied is all going to go back to how strong is your personal credit. But look, if you're somebody right now who's struggling with bad credit, I always tell people this: your current situation is not your final destination. And also, a great thing about this is that it's never been easier to fix your credit on your own, especially with new AIs like ChatGPT and Claude. And when it comes to your personal credit, this is what I want you to remember. Make sure that you have 100% payment history. Make sure that you have under 10% credit utilization. Make sure you don't have any charge-offs, collections, bankruptcies, repossessions. Clear all of that off. You want to have an average age of all the accounts on your credit report 2 years or older. No more than 3 inquiries on each of the credit reporting agencies. And you want to have 3 to 5 credit cards that have at least a $5,000 limit. Really $7,500 or more. And the reason why I say this is because of what I call comparable credit. When you apply for a business funding, banks are going to be looking at your personal credit and compare what you are applying to and compared to what is already on your personal credit. So if you have a whole bunch of small credit limits, you have a whole bunch of negative accounts, why would a bank approve you for business funding if you have nothing on your personal credit that shows that you can actually handle the funding that you're applying for? And now here's what most people don't know. Any negative account on your credit report can legally be deleted or reversed. Like, for example, inquiries. Most people think that you have to wait 2 years for inquiries to fall off your credit report. And look, man, promise me you are not going to wait 2 years for them to fall off your credit report. Now, the exact process on how to delete hard inquiries from a credit report is actually out of the scope of this video. But if you would like for me to create a video on how to delete hard inquiries from TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax, comment the word inquiry below in the comments and I'll go ahead and create a video on that. We can also delete collections, charge-offs, repossessions, reverse late payments from a credit report as well. Now, if you have bad credit overall, you can also delete charge-offs, collections, repossessions from your credit report as well. And look, there's 2 laws that you can use today to be able to get those deleted from your credit report. That's 15 U.S. Code 1681 EB and 15 U.S. Code 1681 I5A. You can literally take these laws, upload a copy of your credit report to ChatGPT or Claude, and tell Claude, hey Claude, ChatGPT, I want you to use these laws to write an aggressive dispute letter to delete these negative items off my credit report. You could literally take these 2 laws, upload a copy of your credit report to Claude or ChatGPT, and tell it, hey Claude, ChatGPT, act as a 9-figure credit repair owner. Use these 2 laws to create an aggressive dispute letter to each of the credit reporting agencies and the original creditors to delete these negative items off my credit report. In addition, create me customized instructions on how to make complaints with both the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and the Better Business Bureau to help expedite this process. And now from there, you're going to get customized disputes and complaints that you can send out to these entities. Mistake number 4, not knowing which bureau each lender pulls from. So let me explain this very quickly for people who need a little background. Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, they are the main credit reporting agencies that determine your credit report, the type of credit report that matters the most. Yes, there's a whole bunch of credit reporting agencies out there, but those are the big 3 that matter the most. Throughout this video, I've been interchangeably using the words credit bureau and credit reporting agencies, but just know they're considered the same. The most important thing to know about these credit reporting agencies is that they are 3 different privatized companies. They are not government agencies. They are privatized companies. They are 3 privatized companies that don't relate to each other. And now here's what most people don't know. Different lenders pull different credit reporting agencies. Some lenders may only pull Experian. Others may only do Equifax. Others may only do TransUnion. And then there's some who might pull all three. And that matters more than almost anything else because that's going to determine what our funding strategy is going to be. And here's why. Let's just say that Equifax and TransUnion credit reports have a whole bunch of inquiries on it. Maybe you applied for a few things, maybe you got approved, maybe you got denied, but you got inquiries on there now. But your Experian credit report, squeaky clean, there's no inquiries at all. So now if you pull a lender that pulls Experian, you know that they're not going to be looking at Equifax and TransUnion. They're only going to be looking at Experian. You have a greater chance of getting approved because they don't even see TransUnion or Equifax. But if you went to a lender and you didn't know which bureau they pulled from, you're basically rolling the dice. You don't know what they're going to pull, and they could be looking at the credit reporting agency where you have a whole bunch of inquiries for. And now your chances of getting approved have significantly decreased. This is why before you apply anywhere, you need to know what lender pulls from which bureau so you can strategize your funding sequence. Mistake number 5, ignoring the soft pull option. Many lenders, especially credit unions, let you pre-qualify or check your approval odds before you actually apply and only give you a soft pull. And the soft pull is not like a hard inquiry. It will not have any type of impact on your credit at all. And now think about that for a second. You can actually apply and determine whether you get approved or not with only a soft pull and without a hard inquiry, without hurting your score. And now the question is, why would you ever apply randomly and risk getting a hard inquiry if you didn't know whether you get approved or you got denied? The answer is you wouldn't, not if you knew this option existed. The problem is most people don't know about these soft pull options. They go to all the other banks that give out hard pulls, and now they apply and get denied, and now their score drops. The smart move is to find the lenders, especially the credit unions, that offer that pre-qualification soft pull option, and you apply there first. And now you're able to check your approval odds without any damage. And if you do get pre-approved, you can now move forward with the standard process, get the hard inquiry, get approved, and now that you have your funding product. And this alone could save your credit score when you're building out your funding stack. Mistake number 6, applying in the wrong order. And this is something that really no one talks about. And that's the order you line up your applications actually matter. But even before that, before we talk about order, what's even more important is making sure that your credit utilization is low enough. Your credit utilization is the ratio between the total debt on a credit card divided by the total available credit. So if you had a $10,000 credit card, you have $8,000 of debt on that credit, your credit utilization is going to be 80%. And lenders hate that. Ideally, you want your credit utilization to be under 30%, but really to get the best rates and the best limits, you want to be under 10%. When a lender sees high credit utilization on your credit report, they're going to assume that you're financially spread thin. And because you're financially spread thin and it's raising red flags on that, they're not going to trust you with high limits because they're going to think that you're going to borrow money and not be able to pay it back. So before you apply for any type of funding, you want to be able to make sure you lower your credit utilization and have that utilization report to your credit report. Because a clean utilization profile lets a lender know that you're responsible with your money and you're ready to take on more. And now that your utilization is clean, now the order and your sequence matters most. When you get approved for a line of credit, your credit utilization changes. And that affects how the next lender sees you. So if you're applying to a lender, you get approved for a higher amount, let's just say $20,000, and you keep the utilization low, you're raising green flags, no red flags there, because it shows that you're responsible and you're able to handle the limits that they give you. And because you look responsible, you significantly increase the chances of your higher amounts with the best approval. And because of that, the score that you have on Equifax does not mean it's going to be the same score on Experian or TransUnion. They all synthesize your payment history differently and come up with different credit scores based on that. But if you apply to the wrong lender and you get approved for a small limit, or they pull from a credit bureau where you already have a whole bunch of inquiries, your credit score drops, your profile looks messier, you got small limits on your credit report, now they're going to see you as not as responsible and your chances of getting approval significantly decrease. That's why the order in your sequence matters. You would want to go to a lender that approves you for a higher amount first compared to a lender that approves you for smaller amounts. And when you get this right, each approval builds on the last one. And look, now you stack your way to 50,000 or more without your credit report falling apart and looking messy and looking irresponsible. look, you're gonna be in good shape. Mistake number 7, thinking your LLC is a business. And look, you're probably making a mistake in 2026 that you probably don't even realize is a mistake. You think your LLC is a business when in reality, an LLC is just paperwork. So a lot of you may go out and apply for an LLC and said, all right, bet, I got a business. I'm ready to go. Let's go apply for funding. Not realizing in the eyes of the bank, they just see paperwork is not seen as a fundable or viable business because your articles of organization does not have the supporting documents and does not have the supporting factors that make it a real business. Here's what lenders are looking at on the business side. They want to know that your business is up to date, viable, and compliant. They want to know that you have a business bank account, not a personal account where you're running business income through, but a business bank account that is seen as active, that you're running revenue through, and that you have a strong relationship with the bank. And this is so important. I want to emphasize this. You want to make sure that you have a personal banking credit profile that is separate from your business banking profile. You do not want to mix them together. But look, if you have an LLC, but you don't have all the other things that help build out a business banking profile, it's not that you can't get approved, but you're probably going to get small limits because ultimately you're not looking fundable, especially if we're talking about $20, $25, $30, $50,000 plus limits. So please follow this simple breakdown that's going to help build out your LLC so it's seen more than just paperwork. It's seen as a business, but even more than that, a business that banks want to fund. Now, you could take everything I talked about in this video, try to piecemeal it together, make it work on your own. Now, if you're willing to invest time, test out different approaches, and learn from trial and error, you can definitely make progress. But every mistake you make while figuring this out costs you. It costs you a hard inquiry on your credit report, and it costs you months where your credit profile is working against you instead of helping you. And let's be real, you don't have time to waste. You have opportunities in front of you right now that's requiring capital right now. That's exactly why we built TFS funding. We help clients walk away with $70,000, $180,000, even $240,000 without having to show any tax docs, without having to show any bank statements, and without destroying their credit profile in the process. And look, we could do the same thing for you. If you're serious about getting access to the capital that your business deserves, click the link in the description, fill out the form, and book your free funding strategy call. And look, if you found this video valuable, don't stop here. Watch this next video where I break down exactly how I was able to help my client get approved for over $240,000 with under 4 hard inquiries without having to show any type of proof of income. Click right here somewhere around this video, and I'll see you on the next one.